Hey guys, so it's been about 2 weeks since we put out any videos out, and we wanted to do this video to kind of talk a little bit with you guys. So it's going to be a little bit of a long video, but if you're interested to know what's been going on over here and what we've been talking about, either through posts or the community posts on YouTube, this is definitely what this video is about right now. And it's been kind of a hard thing to deal with.
It's not an easy topic. It's something that I think many of us try to avoid, especially when it's, I'm gonna say, in the garden world, we try to escape into the garden so we can get rid of anything negative that's going on with our lives or craziness.
Yep.
Unfortunately, very unfortunately,
it's taking a way left turn than we wanted it to.
On our garden, and that's what it has to do about. We probably wouldn't even have mentioned this if it had nothing to do with the garden. It's something that's we never expected we would even be dealing with. So
to get to the point of what the video is mainly about, so as you guys have been following us, you know that we limit how many videos we do because of what's going on, distractions that we have and stuff like that. So it's already hard to do videos, and with the family and all, we go out there, we try to do what we can do.
Well, first of all, when we do videos, we really try to be very considerate.
Definitely.
Because we chose to live on a military base, so that means we live very close to each other, neighbors, and you're going to see everybody walking around and doing their thing and noises.
Yeah.
So we have to...
We're very considerate of people walking by, any children that are walking by, anything like that, because that's not what we want to do. That's not what we want to involve.
We want to respect.
We want to respect everybody's privacy.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, with this issue, it just happened to happen on camera, and it kind of backfired for us opening our mouth to begin with.
It has to do with animal abuse. So, next door to us, the homes are, what do you say, they're attached to each other?
It's a townhouse. It's two houses, basically.
So, there's a fence in the middle, and I'm pretty sure you guys, whoever has seen the videos, where we're making the bed on the side.
Yep.
We're very close to the neighbor. They're new neighbors at that. Probably been here a couple of months already.
Yeah.
And, with the whole COVID thing, you really can't be too close to anybody right now. Be nice and polite, and that's it, and go, along with your day. But, for a while now, I had been outdoors and heard my neighbor come out and beat the dog. The dogs, they have two. First time I was in shock, to tell you the truth. I was actually out there photographing that day. I arose actually, and I remember that happening, and I don't know if she knew I was out there or not, but I froze, guys. I froze because I didn't know what to do. Like, at that point, we were still being friendly. I was still being, speaking to her like hi and bye through the fence. And that day, it just, I didn't know what to do. So I literally went into the door and I coughed and kind of shut the door. So
basically made a distraction. Now, when we use the word beat, it's not like full on, hammering the dog, but it's a kick.
No, that day, Ambrose didn't see that one that day. That day it was bad. And there was bad words being used very loud. Which
has been the case most of the time, and so...
So, I went ahead and came inside. I couldn't believe it. I told Ambrose was like, we need to report it immediately. And I started thinking to myself, I told him, they're a younger couple. They just got here. I know how it is. It's just so, let's just, maybe it won't happen again. I'll talk to her. I told Ambrose, I'm going to find a time when there's none of the kids around, and I will talk to her. Maybe there's something going on. Maybe just have a talk with her.
that opportunity just never presented itself.
It happened a couple more times, but there was always children around. My children started to hear it. My children were sitting down doing schoolwork outside because right now it's virtual school. That happened. That incident happened. I completely stopped talking to her. I was in shock.
Yeah.
My mistake was not reporting it immediately.
Now, with not reporting it immediately is, it brings up an issue that we were talking about earlier, that now you report something like this, just hearsay, like who's going to believe you? And so that's one of the things we kind of, I guess we talked about is...
That was my fear, not getting believed.
Is it something that they're going to take serious? Well, fast forward to, what, about 3 weeks ago now? 3 weeks ago now. We're outside doing a video. We're doing our fall containers, which is the last video that you guys just saw. We were shooting that video, and well, I'll play the video right now so you guys can see exactly what happened, and then we can talk about it afterwards.
So there is, I think what I want to say, there is no rules when it comes to, there's really no rules when it comes to fall.
Yep.
Because there's just like so much that one can, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Can you please not hit the dog?
I'm sorry, but she did something wrong.
No, I'm sorry, ma'am, but that is the whole reason why I don't speak to you. My daughter, I have an autistic daughter up there, and she watches. She is terrified to come out here. She saw you hit the dog. My 2 daughters don't want to come out here either, ma'am.
Okay.
I have not reported you because you just got here, and I'm really a good person, and I don't want any problems with you and your husband. I don't want to cause you guys any problems. But for a dog to be getting hit, that is horrible. It really is, ma'am.
Alright, so you might be asking, why did we show that video? That was something we talked about, whether we're going to show it or not. But I think it's important to show that because the funny thing is, even with this video, and I know it might not look as bad as you think it is, but it has happened before. It just happened to be caught on video this time, and it was just the last straw for Angie, basically.
The thing is, it's unbelievable how we can be there. Our children can be around, and it's still being done.
Yeah.
I had enough that day. I had enough. I didn't want it to go that way because her child was there, but her child has also already gotten the habit of hitting the dog. The dog growls. One of the dogs growls. And I already told Ambrose, I started to think more, you know, if that dog comes out by accident, not just can it bite one of them or their child, but if that dog, like it usually happens on base because, and we all think, you know, our pets are very friendly.
And this is a small community. It's not the first, it's happened in the past where I had 2 dogs the other day run up behind me, and I had to bring our dog inside. And I collared those 2 dogs and called the number of the tags, and you know, the owners were nice enough to come and pick up the dogs.
And the dogs were sweethearts,
and the dogs were very sweet. But it just takes that one dog that has one too many hits, neglect, whatever the case is, to
be aggressive.
Get
scared, spooked.
It could be any kid that could have picked up that dog or been walking across the street or just walking another dog, because I've seen that before where children walk dogs around here, and it's not a bad thing, but at the same time you got to be mindful of what's going on. And those are the things that we take into account. Now, the horrible thing about all this is that opening our mouth.
So, you know, y'all saw what I told her. I tried to keep my composure as you know, best as I could. You know, she didn't say anything to me. I thought the next day maybe she would have knocked on the door, or I don't know. No, the next day I checked my phone for, it had notifications, and there it is, full blown on a post from our community, her trying to get us in trouble for having camera.
So we are in
to protect our home.
So we're in a Facebook group for the community here, and it was a question about the validity of our security camera that we have in the garage, and the only reason we have it there is because it points towards the plants. Nowhere else, just the plants. because we just want to make sure there was no animals coming back there, or to be honest, anybody coming back there and messing with our stuff, because it's vegetables.
We've had things messed with before. We don't know who. We don't have proof of that, but I know it wasn't an animal for a fact.
That came into question. I'm not sure whether they realized or not that we were following the group or not, but it was immediately deleted when I went back to look at some of the other comments.
As soon as other neighbors told them, well, why don't you talk to them, or or just other neighbors were started telling them something. So either way, that's not the first time I've seen really bad comments made of us from that our neighbors' part. I completely ignore them, guys, because to me, I don't care, but why it did it for me, and I agreed with going ahead and showing the video, is because when we came into this community, we wanted to go ahead and bring something amazing to everybody, to share something so amazing with everybody, especially being able to work with such amazing companies. And we had this whole plan to start something with the school, with gardening, the community here. Just with the whole COVID thing, it just didn't go through because of that, and we're still hoping for that. But when you got somebody running around giving you a bad name, and all of a sudden the people that used to talk to you and wave at you don't even look at you no more.
So that's kind of where we're at now. Hate to keep jumping around, but going back to what happened, so I let the housing office know, and I let PMO know. So PMO, if you don't know what that is, that's basically the police on military installation. So called them, because normally there is a animal control section you can call. Unfortunately, I don't think they have one here, because I tried looking for that number everywhere and just couldn't find it.
The guy was lost.
So the phone call basically was, hey, I want to report some animal abuse that I think my neighbor has been doing, and it was basically like a hold on, which turned into a 5-minute wait, which turned into getting somebody else on the phone. Another
person just jumping everywhere.
Ultimately turned into, we're going to send somebody over to do a wellness check on, the house next door to you, and heard nothing back from that. But coincidentally, because all of this is happening, we get a phone call from housing not more than a couple days later, huh?
Yeah, and I felt like an ambush. Because it had to do with drainage of our backyard, and it turned into a whole different thing.
So I said coincidentally, but this was no coincidence. Housing called. They said they wanted to come over and take a look at some stuff because we installed a French drain. Now, by no means that I do it the right way. I should have asked to put that French drain. I dug 8 inches in the ground, and if you guys have been following us long enough, you know that when we got here, it was a muddy mess. There was water building up. It smelled like sewage. We were walking in 3 inches of water every time we walked from the back gate into our back house, and tracking in mud and all kinds of stuff. So I did something about it, because when I went to the maintenance office, I asked, what can I do to fix it? It's muddy, and I was given a bag of grass seed, which I know wasn't going to work because it's muddy. It's torrential raining around here. Nothing's going to stay seated in that ground.
To get around to get something done really big in housing community, military base, you can be put on a very long wait. We had already slipped back there. We had, it just a mess. We could not, use the back area at all to be coming in and out. And that's why Ambrose went ahead and said, I'm just gonna do it. I'll let them know when we leave if they want, if they wanted to stay or go. The problem got solved. It was great. Ambrose had even put grass in, but then later on, the tree grew, it started raining more, there was no sun coming in, it washed out the grass, but we still have our path, and the plants are, the what is it, the bed that Ambrose created, the wall.
So the retaining wall actually traps a lot of water and keeps that area from completely flooding. So when the housing office came over, particular person, a woman came with another person as witness, I guess. But basically it went completely sideways.
It was like they were on a mission.
We were told that for years they've had issues with the drainage back here, and then it turned into, it was our garden that was to blame for it because the neighbor's yard was flooding. And mind you, when we got here, the neighbors that were there previously had already told us that we were not going to have any grass. They didn't have any grass. It was just completely a muddy mess back there.
And we're not the only people with backyards like this. A lot of people in this, we live on slopes, on hills, is it? Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of the backyards are like this, and that's what a lot of people are right now complaining about around here.
So this particular day, it had been raining for almost 2 weeks straight.
2 weeks straight.
And if you do follow us on Instagram,
yeah,
on the stories, which are posted daily, you can tell that every other day that week, I think it was raining. It was a post about rain. I mean, it just rains here. So they came on that day where it was particularly bad. I mean, it looked bad. The neighbor, our side of the garden flows over that way because where is that rainwater going to go? It's not going to go anywhere. When the sun's out, it's completely dry in our back area. Even when we have our drip running, it stays dry. There's no amount of water that's going to cause that much damage. Mind you, water does not crawl up a step. It flows, you know, to the least path of resistance. So, you know, that's what's crazy to me about how things are happening. But
so there was no we'll work it out. You can you know, we'll see what we do to help you out. So you can, maybe we can help you guys with the drainage problem back here. No, it was immediately your whole garden has to go. It is bothering a lot of the neighbors. Did never mention about removing the side garden or the front garden, which is weird to me because my question was,
what needs to go?
Well, you know, if our gardening is a problem, how come is it only have to do with the back and not the front if we are in some form
causing an issue
to people?
The end state of that visit was the whole garden had to go.
So then
no clear-cut answer on what needed to go or just a few plants. Or I even asked, when does housing dictate how many plants I can have? And the answer was when it became an issue with the drainage, which nowhere in the lease does it say that. The houses they're built on clay foundations. The water's not going anywhere. It's gonna go somewhere if there's no way for it to get out.
You have water running from all directions too, from the other side of whoever else that lives there too. And it's I told Ambrose, like, are we now going to report them? They can't control that. You know, the water that makes it to our side. That's just the way it's built here.
Yeah. So
and it's just very sad because we chose to live here on base to be secure. You know, it was our choice to live here. But that just
it was a bad it was just a bad visit all around, and it kind of demoralized us, honestly, being in the garden, because it wasn't, like I said, it was no coincidence that happened after we reported somebody for dog abuse. Regardless of what anybody says, we've been doing this for almost a year here, and never have we had these issues until we brought something
I just
up.
thought it was very sad to see, you know, Ambrose not want to head out there and attend like he always does to you know, plants, or my kids not wanting to go and sit back there anymore at all, because that person might come out, not just hit the dog, but talk ugly, you know. So
one thing we've never shared with you guys, well, we have shared with you if you've been following long enough, but you know, gardening is an escape for us. It's a relaxation thing for us, and we absolutely enjoy it, and it's become a lifestyle. Our oldest daughter is autistic. She absolutely went out there and loved gardening. Yes. For Angie, it's a stress reliever, and it's something to enjoy. You know, we have a big family, and you know, regardless of what anybody says, it does get stressful being in the military and having a big family, and you know, and trying to manage a whole bunch of things. For myself, I used it for, you know, some type of mental relaxation, you know, whatever you want to call it, PTSD or whatever the case is. It's something that the whole family enjoys to do, and for me not to want to go out there, I think that really, I know Angie saw that and she noticed it, and
it was sad, guys. A very bad moment. I even stopped, you know, I do my daily thing on Instagram and Facebook, and I know a lot of you noticed that it slowed down. I couldn't go out there no more. I couldn't find that, you know, that thing that makes me want to go ahead and be out there and be happy. And I thought to myself, you know, this is why a lot of times people don't want to say the truth, don't want to come out with things like this, but I know it's the right thing. Even though it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, I know there's instances like that across life where you question whether you should do it or you shouldn't do it. And I think that's one of the biggest fears, is what kind of retaliation you're going to get.
I don't regret it for one moment. I feel that I should have stopped thinking more about her family, and had, of course, what I do regret is that I should have, I think, reported immediately. The thing is, you know, like now it's like I tell Ambrose, they keep on telling us, we'll just report if it happens again. So it happens again, what's going to happen? And I wanted to make sure to clear this up too. The housing has nothing to do with the military.
Yeah, so they're privatized housing. Yes, they talk to the military, but military has nothing to do with this. So I don't want anybody out there to think, oh, the military did you wrong, or the military is great. I love my job. I love what I do.
Someone actually from there told us that it was okay and do this, have this video out. Yeah,
and show what we actually recorded, because it's not against the law. We're just sharing it with you guys because I think it's bad. It's something wrong and it shouldn't be done by any means whatsoever. But I don't want anybody to think that this is the military telling us what to do or what not to do. This is completely separate from the military. This is
a
housing,
company of
which is
housing.
Privatized housing. It has nothing to do with the military. So please don't with the comments, you know, about the military. It has nothing to do with the military. So please, I refrain from talking about the military because I love what I do and it has nothing to do with them. It's strictly just the housing office and how they do business with the lease or whatever the case is.
But you know, we were able to speak to somebody else today actually, and we were very surprised.
So it was basically a complete 180. Now, there are some things that we are going to have to move. For instance, the bed by the fence. They're replacing.
Yes. And that would have been something that if this other person that came would have told us, it would have been completely understandable, and we wouldn't have been like with all this confusion. So
what I was told is they just got approved money to redo gutters and take down the old fences and put up vinyl fences. And you know, and I understand now if you're gonna do some changes and you're gonna work on some of the backyards, because all these houses out here have issues.
And our bed is in the way
with drainage. Now if the bed's in the way, and you know, we're gonna move that stuff. That's fine. We're gonna accommodate the best we can because it benefits us as far as having better items in the household, basically. So
like the other side too, where we have the entrance of the gate too, that'll probably, you know, because there's gate too, the beds are in that gated area too, so we'll remove that too. So there's going to be changes, but I'm actually excited, even though after all this craziness, you know, when we're gonna get fence, you know, new fence, and two, hey, there's a new gardening can't stop. There's just so many ways of doing it. That's the greatest thing about gardening, guys, that there's just so many ways to garden. And I'm excited because we've always been so happy for container gardening, because that's our lifestyle. That's our way of gardening, because we move so much. And in some places you just cannot dig a hole anywhere. So we've been very fortunate here, which our back bed where Ambrose built, you know, has a little pond area. You know, that we're happy to know that doesn't even have to come down either. So all that didn't get explained to us. It was just remove everything, and we felt attacked, and it just wasn't cool. But
so definitely going to be some changes come next year. We did talk with them. They're going to come out and look at some of the stuff and tell us what we can and can't have. Everything that's inside the fence definitely worth keeping. I mean, that's not going away. It's like I told them specifically. We're not gonna get rid of any of that. I mean, it's a lot to deal with. I get it. And to some people it might look crazy. To some people they absolutely adore it. They walk by. To
gardeners, and I know a lot of you, you know, you're watching us because you're gardeners. You know, to be told that it's too much when a garden is a garden. You have different plants. We all have different tastes of gardening, you know. But to be told that you can garden, that's just wow. You know.
So I know it's a long video, guys. We just wanted to get this off our chest and let you guys know what's going on with us, because some of you may be concerned. I know. We thought about it and we're like, hey, you know, we haven't even told anybody what's going on.
This is part of our journey. I don't like to bring anything negative to our channel, but it is part of it.
Yep.
And you know, you're probably gonna wonder, why would you bring down the beds after?
Yeah.
You know, why would you go into putting things into containers? Well, you know, we had to explain, guys, what's going on too, and why all of a sudden we just stop making videos, you know, and why we don't head back there and show you guys more. Yep. It's hard to when you have a person obsessed over you, opening that door every second. Yeah. Just to make a living hell out of your life. Yeah, and that's something we're not gonna stop doing. I mean, we're gonna continue to go out into the garden, enjoy it, play our music, because that's you know, it's something that we enjoy doing. We love doing in our garden. We're happy people.
If it wasn't for recording when we do gardening, the music would be blasting in the background, just so you guys know. But that's something we enjoy. That's something we love doing outside, and you know, and it's unfortunate that. When others see you happy, you know, it's you know, for them it's not all what it seems. And
I just wanted the community to, you know, I know there's some of you that follow us from here, and I just wanted you guys from the community here on base to see what's really happening, guys. We don't go on the page on here and talk about anything because we feel that sometimes it can turn into a joke. Yep. So this is not a joke. What's happening to that animal those two animals next door is not a joke. I'm trying to figure out what to do about it still. It's not a joke, guys. So I just want y'all to know, you know, we are here with good intentions, and I love when families pass by and seeing that smile because they saw that flower out front, or whoever asks us for advice and we have actually a conversation because of the plants, or that's what's awesome, to bring people together. Yep.
Again, which brings us to the whole point of the video. It rains a lot here. It's ridiculous.
And we're forgetting this video is gonna be like so long because we're forgetting to let y'all know videos might be very different made too. You might want to explain to them about that, because it's hard to get out there and actually talk. So
like we said, it's become very obsessive. Like if I go outside, there has to be a distraction, and it's you can already guess what it is.
And please don't think, guys, that we don't want people to come out because we're recording. No, you know, if you come out, it's your home, you know. Yeah. But we know when it's being done intentionally, and
like we said, we're very respectful of everybody's privacy, and we're not trying to capture anybody doing anything or whatever the case is. But I hate doing voiceovers and stuff like that. But sometimes it might be something we have to do because you know, more often than not, we're in the middle of doing something, and we have to cut what we're doing, and we have to stop talking and trying to remember what we're doing at the moment, or a container might already be done and it's ruined because
we just have so many things on hold right now, guys, because I don't want you guys to miss on anything. Like, I have those sensiverias that I want to get out of the window box, guys, already, so I can bring them in. We're already in October. They need to get out. We need to plant some other evergreens, guys. We have so many things that we're excited about, but we just haven't been able to share because of this problem. So let's wrap it up.
Yep. Alright, guys, so that's going to do it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this talk because it was something that we wanted to come across to you guys. If you have any questions for us, please leave them in the comments below, in particular to what is going on. We'll be more than happy to answer those, just so you guys know what's going on. We'll have some videos out pretty soon. But you got anything else to say?
No, just we're not going to stop gardening. You just can't. That's just something that we love doing, guys. So we'll definitely keep going, and we're going to keep going with our YouTube channel, and we are back to our cheery selves again, and you know, wanting to be out there. So
again, guys, thank you for joining us, and for those of you that have been sticking around, we definitely appreciate it. So stick around, we'll have some videos coming out, and we'll see you guys in the next one.